funny, Roger? A few years ago, you had a chance to kill me. Now I'm gonna kill your little boy unless you kill yourself.
No!
Daddy!
It's finally over, Roger. You've got no chance.
I'm not afraid of you anymore, Ben. I beat you! And this goddamn house!
Don't make me mad!
What?
I'm warning you, I'll slit his throat!
You can't hurt me. Or my son. Watch me.
I'm warning you! No!
Slow, sucker!
Roger, no! No! I'll get you for this!
What's up? This is Rob, aka Anomaly, back for a long awaited review from one of my most anticipated figures that I've ever received from Once Customs. What you guys are looking at is Big Ben from the movie House. I want to say it was 1985, 86. I'm not 100% sure. I know that the artist that designed the look of this zombie soldier was the same actor that did the Part 7 prosthetics for the New Blood Jason. Very similar for Once Customs. Very similar, but yet very different and very unique. I own the original Big Ben, and I sold it only because I knew I was going to be getting this, and that was many years ago. I've been waiting for this piece let's just say for a long time, and prior to the start of the decade, let's just say it like that. But you know, they say good things come to those who wait, and patience definitely pays off. In this review, I'm gonna go over why this is one of my favorite characters that Once does, and why I love him so much, and what makes this particular character very unique. And there's a huge story behind this character. It's literally one of Once's favorite pieces that he enjoys making. He told me that many times, so we'll get into all of that. All right, let's do it. All right, guys, so let's start with the COA. We have Once 2024. This is a one-of-one piece. And this truly is a one-of-one piece, and will always be a one-of-one piece because this piece doesn't have any casted parts. We'll talk about how this piece is constructed in a little bit. That will give insight to why it truly is a one-of-one. So that's the COA. And just right quickly, this is the Dio, you know, that one did. I'm assuming it's been a while since I've seen this movie, but it looks like it's kind of like a hallway scene, I guess, when he was coming up the stairs. And you know, it's a very simple dial, very simplistic, but at the same time it looks the part, and it's painted very nicely, very nicely. So it does create, you know, a pretty decent, actually quite nice presentation. Even got the wallpaper effect going on with the flowers and stuff. So again, simple, but sometimes that's all you need really for the presentation, and it's completely appropriate to the film. So that's the dial, and let's get into the figure. And before we get into the figure, this is just again another close-up of the bullets and the MG machine gun. Not exactly sure of the model, but you know, it's a sourced item, you know, but it has one's touch, you know, it's weathered. You guys see the light, it's weathered very nicely. And you know, you can't have a Big Ben without his machine gun, so pretty heavy too. All right, so let's there's so much to talk about with this piece. Right off the rip, here's one of the hands right here, and this is really one thing that I like about this piece. The hands are so beautifully sculpted. I think they're Hot Toys hands that he simply sculpted over, but it's done very, very nicely. As you can see, they're painted very nicely, and yeah, there's just a very crisp and refined. This is really good sculpting. That's basically what I'm trying to say, guys. If you guys know anything about this hobby, that's very, very clean. And these are the boots. And this is one of the most areas of this piece that impressed me, because I was concerned about how he was going to do this, and I don't know why, because this is what Ones does, but those are the bones popping out of the real boots, source boots, but somehow he integrated and completely customized them to show the toes. And there's just the other boot right here, and it's, as you can see, it's very muddy and, you know, weathered appropriately. This is a 1/6 zombie soldier. And my boy Odell was telling me that the actor that played this character was just as tall as Tyler Mane. And he is a pretty tall piece, you know what I'm saying? I'm not sure if he's on a tall body, but my Escape is on a tall body. He's only slightly smaller. But what I like what Ones did is you got this exposed leg right here, just all together, you know, it's missing. And that's a cool look, especially to differentiate it from the original. I love the color of the clothing. It's tattered exceptionally well. All types of fraying, just the typical stuff that you're used to seeing from Ones, but just at a very high level. The material's not too thick, not too thin, and it just looks appropriate. And I love how it comes down the boots and just looks all mangled throughout the body. Again, really good sculpting right here on the shins. Loving the color. There wasn't a whole lot of color variation with the original prosthetics and makeup. It was a really dark and muddy kind of look from the makeup standpoint, but somehow Ones has managed to get in a good amount of color variation that you can see. It's not all just one color. And again, look at those hands, guys. We'll see more on the side angles, but that is really, really, I don't know, my focus is acting up. That is really, really good sculpting right there, guys. Nice and clean and refined. Love the way the waist looks, and as you guys can see, he has a weathered belt, and he has his grenades. There's two of them there. I know it's kind of hard to see, but. And again, we got the hands. I just love the hands on this piece and the way that the foot was done. And again, now there's no casted pieces for this, Ben. Everything that you see here is sculpted by hand on the body, not 3D printed, by hand, by Ones on the body, including the guts. Look at all these guts, and look at the color variations here, guys. Really, really sick. And another thing that stands out about this piece, it's a lot of things, is the rib cage. Look at that rib cage, guys. It has some depth to it, and it looks somewhat hollow, meaning you can see inside of it. And you can see all this stuff on the ribs. Like, I don't know if that's rotted flesh or what that is, but it's exceptionally well done, and in hand it looks exceptionally well. And one told me personally he was very proud about how the neck area came out, that neck piece and the sculpting. And I can see why he's proud, because it's done very, very well. And again, it looks very, very, very detailed. There's a lot of depth. And speaking of depth, look at his head sculpt, guys. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take off the hat because it is magnetized and show you guys the sculpt. And this sculpt is phenomenal. You guys can see the shoulders. It's got those predominant shoulders. Look at all this tattering, guys. Look at all this detail, man. This looks like a straight up prop. And here's the sculpt. That's Big Benny himself. Very, very dynamic. In person, this thing looks alive, man. And I don't know how one does it, man. The details just for some reason just scream at you. And that's a face only a mother could love. You got the dead eyes. That is absolutely unbelievable. Again, just such a beautiful piece. And let's take a step back, guys, and take a look at some angles. Take a look at some angles. Again, highlighting this beautifully sculpted piece. Again, nicely weathered boots, nicely grimed up. Looks 100% appropriate to how it should look. And here's another view of the beautiful sculpting. Again, all done by hand. There is no casted pieces here. And that's why this piece is unique, and that's why it's truly a one of one. And one hasn't made a lot of these. In the history that Ones has been making figures, he's only probably done about maybe about 5 of these. You know, the original ones. Here's another look at the hands, guys. Again, beautifully sculpted. Get the focus going, guys. And you know, he has a nice amount of thickness. Again, it's a 1/6 body with sculpting over it, so because it doesn't have the casted pieces, it's not as thick as like a New Blood, but at the same time it shouldn't be because he's a soldier. He's just a zombified human. He's not supposed to be this big gargantuan you know, piece. This is how we're looking at the side angles. And it's light, it's kind of hard to get the focus, but you guys can kind of get an idea of the details here. And because the figure is so dark, the color scheme, it's kind of hard for the camera to kind of, but you guys basically get the gist. Just details everywhere. And let's take a step back and let's take a look from behind, guys. Alright, guys, and this is how we're looking from behind. Okay, not a whole lot going on from behind. You can see, you know, a little bit of the sculpting here and how the boots kind of sit here. You know, got some tattering, got some exposure points here and there. Nothing too crazy though. Nothing too crazy. You know, you can see a little bit of exposure in the back. You know what I'm saying? But again, very, very subtle. It's a dome piece. Again, I love the fact that that hat is heavy and magnetized to the head. There is an additional head sculpt, by the way. One just forgot to put it in the box, so I will have that shortly, and I'll show some pictures of it. I'll show a picture of it, what it's supposed to look like. Let's take a look at the last angle, guys. Alright, guys, and here is the last angle. Again, I absolutely love the way that he did the boot with the exposed, I guess, skeletal feet. It's so well done. Thank you, Ones. A lot going on this side angle, a lot of exposure points. Again, this is fully sculpted all around. Got some kneecap action there, very well done. Again, another quick look at these beautifully sculpted hands. Just pure work of art. I like how this fabric is kind of hanging off the arm. Guys, again, this guy's been in battle, this guy's been in combat, so clothes are just ravaged. And it's an organized mess, and it's very well done. Those are the grenades right there, if you can't see it from the front. Again, look at that rib cage. Very, very well done. Tons of detail here, guys. And there's this beautiful sculpt. Again, look how much depth this sculpt has. The neck area. Again, beautiful hat. I do have an additional sculpt. I will show you guys. And again, damn, beautiful work of art, guys. And let's wrap it up. All right, guys. So that's gonna conclude our review of this Big Ben figure from the movie House by One's Customs. Again, very unique piece. Again, one of my most anticipated pieces, and oh my God, I'm just so happy to finally have this in my collection. I definitely will not be letting this one go this time. Once he may do another variant of this piece, and depending on how good that is, I may snatch that one up as well and just have two of them, but very unlikely that I'm going to get rid of this piece. As you guys know, I am a sucker for One's sculpted pieces, especially at this level. So again, just finally glad to have him here. And with that being said, guys, I hope you enjoyed the review. I got tons and tons of reviews on the way. I'm going to be doing, I got more One's pieces coming. I got some pieces from Galactables. I got Creature Lagoon coming up soon. Just a whole lot of content. Just got to get the time to do it. But if you guys have any questions or concerns, hit me up. Hit up my boy Bobby. Again, shout out to him and One's. Shout out to Distress Labs for help facilitating a smooth transaction and all that stuff. And again, thank you to One's for getting me this package. And this was just much appreciated. So I'll holler at you guys. I'm out. Peace.